What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Right here we'll be watching some interesting and unsettling videos that will make you question our reality. 大家好，我是大鸡，欢迎回到我的频道。在这里呢，我们会一起来观赏一些那些在美国网络上流传的一些奇异的、挑战我们认知的一些影片哦。那我们话不多说，赶快开始吧 ，Let's go! Alright.
We have an absolutely strange sighting coming from Iraq once again of the fabled jetpack man, the witch, or the jellyfish UFO that gets seen all over the world, and more so in Iraq. This basically happened a few days ago in Maysan, Iraq, right? Of this strange object that's floating through the skies, right? Making no noise, not interactive with anything, just kind of moving along its way. And as you can see, the plants in the background, the wind is blowing in the opposite direction of this way, and this object is floating along the same linear plane going the opposite direction, and it's not bobbing up and down, it's not being affected by the wind, it's constant. Now, I've got a compilation for you, okay, of the same similar objects that have been spotted over the years. Now, there was one that happened in Saladin in Iraq as well, at the beginning of this year, which was absolutely just strange, and it kind of sent the internet into emotional turmoil, to say the least, right? Again, here we go. The same exact thing, not affected by the surrounding, just kind of floating along. And it kind of begs the question, are these more so some type of interdimensional encounter where, you know,
it's
the veil's kind of
jetpack?
thinning and people are witnessing these objects come in that don't really make sense because our brain can't quite perceive them. And also, there's another sighting just like this one that happened in Mexico in 2006, and they referred to that one as the witch, right? A paranormal encounter, which is this one. Now, going back through history, in 2003, I think, there was a video of an apparent Gilgamesh that was found, the Sumerian king in Uruk, and people tried to relate that a lot of these sightings may be to do with some of the powers that still reside there. So, I don't know, mate, what do you guys think?
Oh, so yeah, it's like the jellyfish UFO. Like the previous episode, I was looking at one sighting that's in California. It kind of looks like it, but not really. That one actually morphs, like it changed shapes and also it changed colors. But those are kind of different ones. Those are almost like, if you can imagine like a standing person and then like just floating through. It's almost kind of like, you know, maybe jetpack, but I guess jetpack wouldn't be that stable.
Well, how would you feel if you got up in the morning, went to work, did a hard day at work, and then came back home and the locks on your door was changed and you couldn't get in the door? Then you have to crawl through a window to get in your house, and when you get in your house, you find out that everything that you had is gone and has been replaced. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this.
Share this video as you're watching it. Share.
This crazy right here. This is crazy. This is crazy.
I'm bad in the kitchen. Who's sleeping here? Call everybody, because this is ridiculous. What the fuck? Then they had the nerve to make up their beds. Are y'all dumb?
This is crazy.
And who's gonna give y'all the
This is in an apartment in Brooklyn. That man left his house early in the morning. He said that he felt like he shouldn't leave. He felt like somebody was going to do something to his place. Mind you, his rent is paid. Nobody shouldn't have did anything to his place. He comes back home and everything is missing. There are bunk beds. Children bunk beds sitting where every piece of his furniture was. TV off the wall. Everything out the cabinet. And to top it off, he calls the rent office and let them know what happened, and guess what they do? They don't answer him anymore after the first call. Now, I'm not going to lie to me. That looks like a situation, because what are all those bunk beds doing in his apartment? The story is crazy. I tell you this, 10 times out of 10, he might have a big lawsuit coming. Shit is crazy. I'm out.
They should do an investigation of the whole building. I'm thinking like, how can you move 10 bunk bed on the street not being spotted? So I'm thinking maybe like if it's not them, because it looks like it was placed really awkwardly all over the place, even in their kitchen. Like they cannot even walk anywhere, right? So, you know, probably somebody within the very close vicinity, like even in the apartment complex. One of those tenant got something going on. All right.
Dicen, la niña de atrás que no hay niñas atrás, dejé de querer asustarme. La niña de atrás que no hay niñas atrás, dejé de querer asustarme.
Look. So looks like the arch doorway, which is closer to the girl in the video. So supposedly we should see something like right there, right next to the clock. Right there. It's supposed to come out from there. Looks like a little doll with no face. All right.
Good.
That's America.
Who is?
I know who that is. I know who that is.
John Wick?
No, that's Georgia.
Jason?
JSP. GSP. That's Georgia State Patrol. You don't mess with them boys. Them boys will literally, there's hundreds of them. You can just look that up. Them boys will, they don't care what happens to you. They'll kick your windshield in. I saw one video where that joker had a pickup truck and he literally, this guy ran through a bunch of like a parade and the police just literally rammed him to the side, pinned him over, kicked through his side window, pulled that joker out, threw him, beat him up. Yeah, GSP don't play.
Well, so they prompted this and it looks so real that it's actually.
I actually think this is real.
I don't know. The last one is obviously
this is real.
That one's real. The last one I'm going to show is real.
Okay.
But these last two, I'm pretty sure are AI.
Okay.
This is real.
Yeah, I believe this.
Yeah, so those are like, those like Hollywood shit is really just here in the United States. All right.
Do you guys hear about the depression brain chip? So a man who had severe depression for more than 3 decades appears to have gone into remission thanks to a bespoke brain pacemaker that selectively activates different areas of the brain. It was this experimental thing where they literally put a brain chip in this person's brain and electrically activate the part of your brain that brings joy.
I don't know how I like that.
I don't know either. What it got me
Just
thinking
get this
about
guy on
is
a
like,
jet ski, dude. Come on. What are we doing?
to me, that was freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's cool. Feeling joy for the first time in 30 years is insane.
Amazing.
But at the same time, how you can take something and with this talk of all these brain chips, you can affect emotions now based off of something that you implant in your brain.
Yeah, and there's just the implications of that. Like, what other emotions can they control?
It makes me think of Kingsman.
Yeah.
That signal to where it makes everyone angry and
Blow it
want to
up.
kill each other.
It's such a slippery slope because then they control whatever emotions. And I mean, one day that'll be remotely operated or
Yeah.
something.
It's interesting when you think, though, about a lot of those antidepressants. They're like dopamine regulators and stuff like that. And so they're doing like a physical medical solution to it. But then it begs the question, like, where do you draw the moral line? Like, I'm a doom scroller. I'll get caught for hours. And that's a dopamine feed.
Yeah.
And so, like, the morality of, like, I'm regulating my dopamine by watching YouTube, for hours on end. At, like, what point, where in this conversation do we draw the line and say, this is good, this is not?
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. So it sounds good for, people who have like chronic depression, but where you draw the line? Like, so imagine one day we're going to take sad out of your emotion. Sad is not productive. It's not helping you in any way, shape, or form. So all you need is just happiness. Then what does that make us then? Like, then what would we become? All right.
A woman named May Cabales lives somewhere in the Philippines, and for the most part everything was going fine. That is, until she got pregnant and started hearing strange noises outside her house at night. One night around 12 a.m. she is woken up to some disturbing sounds. Afraid and unable to sleep, she gets up and tries to wait it out, but it doesn't stop until dawn. The following night, she is woken up again to the same disturbance. This time it's more intense. What she captures is utterly terrifying.
Ma, doon ka? Tayo na, uy.
Some sort of animal? Monkey? Wow, I hear a whole bunch of different sounds.
May explains that ever since she became pregnant, this terrifying creature began appearing at night, even trying to open the doors to get in. May believes it's a type of aswang, a shape-shifting evil creature from Filipino folklore, and in this case it is believed to be the manananggal, a creature that preys on sleeping pregnant women, using an elongated proboscis-like tongue to suck out fetuses. May says that her neighbors don't have any pigs, and even does an outside house tour to show the nearby area, explaining that beside her house is an elementary school, and then the neighbor's house which is still some distance away, and there's no pigs or similar animals around. This nightmare continued every night, only getting worse with each passing day, only ceasing after her son was born, which further convinces her that the aswang was responsible.
So it stopped after the son was born, I guess. That's a good thing. All right.
The only reason that conflicts exist on your planet is because people feel disempowered. They've been taught to believe they have no power. They've been taught to believe they're disconnected from source, which isn't possible. And so anyone that feels disconnected from source, disconnected from their power, will feel powerless, will feel out of control, will feel alone, will feel like a victim, will feel miserable. And if they have no connection or no idea of their connection to their own inner power or to source, then the only way they can imagine gaining power is to manipulate the external reality and force others to see things their way. Remember, you have a saying on your planet, misery loves company. It takes a victim to make a victim. So the idea is that when you see people perpetrating what you would call negative acts on others and creating conflicts around your world, those people believe they are victims and they are acting out and lashing out because they want to create as many victims as they can so they won't be alone. So they will feel connected. But you can teach them by example that they can connect in another way. You can teach them that the idea of having to force yourself on someone actually means you don't believe in the power of what you believe in. Because if you did, you would realize that the greatest power of all requires the gentlest touch. Because if it's truly powerful, it doesn't have to exert itself at all. Look at the idea of what you call creation, all that is, God. It is so powerful, so all-pervasive, you actually can believe it doesn't exist. That's how light a touch it has. Because it doesn't need to have a broader touch than that. Because it doesn't need to, because it is everything that exists. So what power does it need to exert over itself? None. So the idea is that when you teach people that they are aspects, they are projections, they are versions of all that is, of creation itself, they are self-empowered as beings, they will not need to foist their ideas on anyone, and there will be no conflict in that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're all connected at one point, but for some reason it was taken out, it was shut down, or it was turned off. And I feel like because we have this great disability in humankind, that's why right now we have the internet, we have the social media, we have the data connection that we created to kind of make up what we're supposed to have in us. So that's why we are so drawn to social media. That's why we just like to watch other people doing things, not just celebrity. We're interested in what happened to other people because we are yearning for that connection, which was turned off. Alright.
While the world is busy arguing about politics, Chinese scientists just quietly de-aged monkeys. Let me try and explain this in American. You see, at the very center of the aging process are your stem cells. Think of them as construction workers, and your body is the city. When the city is young with no corrupt politicians, these workers, they show up in hordes. They fix potholes, keep the streets clean, and build houses for the homeless. But as the city ages and the politicians start to become corrupt, insert your choice of Republican or Democrat, fewer construction workers start turning up. This causes buildings to become run down, trash starts piling up on the streets. Heck, some of those construction workers are now dealing Fent to the homeless. So this team of Chinese scientists from CCMU said, let's try and create a brand new special type of construction worker that resists these corrupt politicians and maintain the city no matter what. And so they created a new type of human stem cell. And all you need to know, it's called SRCs for short. Then over the next 44 weeks, they injected these SRC cells into macans that were the equivalent age of humans in their 60s and 70s. And what they discovered is remarkable. Not only did these new stem cells reverse key signs of aging in 10 major body systems, but they also presented minimal to no negative side effects. No tissue damage, no tumors, no fevers, no weight loss. And at the end of this 44-week trial, these grandpa monkeys, their brains worked better. Their bones were stronger. Their tissues showed less damage. They grew new, healthy cell populations in their brain and reproductive organs. Even their sperm production was improved. Hey, yo! Now, what makes this even more exciting is that this study was published in Cell, which is a highly revered journal where the peer review standards are rigorous. And this was achieved on monkeys, which are much more similar to humans, because the majority of anti-aging studies are done on mice or other simpler organisms. Now, there are some caveats. Because their findings are novel, meaning the first of their kind, there is no replication yet. They also weren't very clear on the sample size. Was this 3 monkeys? Was this 100? And also, just because it's showing promising results in monkeys doesn't necessarily mean that it will work the same for humans. But I don't know. After Xi and Putin were caught on a hot mic talking about living forever, something's going on.
Yeah, but back to the question. Is it gonna be available for the regular people like us? Probably not. Would it be only available to the rich elites? Probably. So we'll see when the normal people will be able to like take advantage of those scientific breakthrough. We'll see. All right.
From cave paintings to space telescopes, mysterious anomalies have been recorded in our skies for as long as we can remember. Massive objects appearing to descend from above, often surrounded by beings kneeling in fear and awe. Many ancient texts like the Anunnaki, the Book of Enoch, the Mayan Popol Vuh, and the Vedas from Hindu mythology all warn of some form of all-powerful watchers that come down from the heavens and direct the course of humanity to their will. Today, deep space telescopes detect faraway visitors making their way towards us, like 3I Atlas, the enormous interstellar object set to pass by us in November, which many scientists have been warning exhibits characteristics of intelligent design. A pattern we've kinda seen recorded across thousands of years of human existence, etched into the walls of caves, stone tablets, statues, parchment scripts, books, and now the internet. Visitors that, according to their stories, fundamentally rewrote the trajectory of civilization as we know it. But don't worry guys, it's probably just a comet, right?
Yeah, we'll see. 2 more months.
Hey y'all, look how lazy we are in America. Now they got all the illegals out, you got regular Americans doing construction work. And we're so damn lazy we can't even pick up the bricks ourselves. They really got these suction machines to move the bricks around. It's gonna take them 10 years just to build one wall. And look, all the employees are using these machines.
Well, I mean, I don't know. America, we take care of our labor. We don't want them to have any kind of job injury or anything like that. So, yes. All right.
User Angel works as a tattoo artist and lives alone somewhere in Glasgow, Scotland. And one day, she was just playing with her cat when she noticed it started behaving strangely, looking up at the glass panel of one of the doors. So she decided to record it, and something undeniably chilling is captured.
Oh!
Just outside her bedroom door, a pale man can be seen watching her from the top of the glass panel, which you would need to be quite tall for. We can see that the cat is clearly noticing this as well. Angel explains that she was terrified to leave her room for hours, but when she eventually did and searched the house, she found no one there. But after searching the property, she discovered some sort of strange formation of sticks, or totem outside her house, which she believes was used for some sort of ritual, leading her to think what she saw in her house was something paranormal. Now over the next few days, something started following her around, but things got even worse when she decided to try and seek out answers at a nearby graveyard, and noticed shadow figures and strange sightings lurking at the corner of her eye. After returning home, she discovered 2 slugs inside her house, and noticed that the totem had been moved closer to her front door. Whatever this thing is, just doesn't seem to want to leave her alone. She believes an entity such as a skinwalker is causing all of this.
Wow. That's like a lot of activities from super tall being or maybe prankster decided to like climb up to the top of the door, and then she see the shadowy figure in the graveyard and also like another figure right next to the window. That's like a lot of shit going on. I mean, I've never seen this much like paranormal evidence, but it's pretty scary. All right.
I have some exclusive footage for you, and this is actually coming from a witness named Kayla out of Michigan. Her home security camera on September 18th, 2025 alerted her to a human presence in her backyard. And when she pulled up the camera to review it, boy, was she shocked. What appears to be a tiny flying humanoid being was captured on her camera, and literally this thing has legs and hair. What do you think this could be? And actually, what do you see? I see something with legs and hair. Maybe you see something different. And it's interesting to note that in folklore, there are tiny little creatures other than fairies that are described as ferocious, demonic, humanoid-looking beings, and they're called pixies. Could this be one? Take a look at this footage, comment below, tell me what you think.
Okay, there. So, yeah, it really looked like because of the color, it's like nude color, so it's like skin. And then the 2 long legs really look like the leg. But when it's at this angle where I'm stopping at, this angle, you can start seeing that it might be a giant insect. I'm interested to know what kind of insect is that because it's so giant. But it does look like from the profile of this, it does look like it has a big, you know, big tummy area, as if it might be a giant grasshopper, I think, possibly, or is it a pixie? What do you think? Yeah, it's like humanoid, but on the side, it's like, yeah, profile, it's like insect. Alright, and that's it for today's videos. If you like those type of videos, please give it a like and subscribe and turn on the notification, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.